Many expected Mercedes Valtteri Bottas to be under a lot of pressure during the Sakhir Grand Prix as he had to show his worth against the young upstart in George Russell. In the eyes of many, he didn't fare all that well, even if the pit stop error was to be taken out of the equation. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff, among others, have stated how Bottas should have fared better while Bottas defended himself. I'm your host Dillon Shelley, and first up on Formula World, Bottas gets some criticism from Mercedes. One of the areas in which Bottas supposedly faltered was with tyre management, as Perez won the race on the same hard tyres he had on despite Perez's tyres being 2 laps older. His race engineer Riccardo Musconi alluded to this just after the race. "Sorry for the mix-up, but I think we need to be a lot better than this." Toto Wolff echoed those sentiments. "I need to talk with Valtteri and his crew, but yeah, he did not shine today." Bottas, meanwhile, defended the way his race panned out. "I think the race start was the first problem. I had some wheel spin, I guess, like last week. Then I think everything was going okay. On the beginning of the second stint, I was planning to close the gap to George, so I was expecting a big battle." He signed off by explaining how the race would have been a lot different without the safety car. "During the safety car we stopped, because we had the margin to do so. Without the safety car, I think George and I would have ended up having a nice battle towards the end." Fast feed. Mercedes trackside engineering director Andrew Chauvelin revealed that they have found this smoking gun that led to the pit stop error, and that's to do with how the radio system prioritizes messages. He cited the radio messages when Ron Meadows, sporting director, is calling out the crews and getting them to get the tyres ready for the 2 drivers as something that would get a high priority. He added that prior to the pit stop mistake, there were a number of broadcasts at that time on the radio system. The system knows to prioritize the messages coming from Ron. However, it looks like there is a period whereby the system is not deciding to let the prioritized messages through. Renault's Daniel Ricciardo has stated that obviously congrats to Sergio Perez, but for everyone else, you can't let someone win who was in the pits on lap 1. F1's managing director Ross Brawn feels that George Russell should be very positive about this weekend, despite the disappointing final result. He added that George delivered an exceptional performance in pretty challenging circumstances. Brawn further added there is now no doubt that he's F1 World Champion material. He didn't make any mistakes in a challenging situation, and all the problems were the team's, not his. Racing Point team principal Otmar Safnauer has stated the lows, the really lows that they've experienced last week made the highs even sweeter. He also added this has put them in the fight for third in the last race. They have to do a good job next weekend, and after that, focus on the following year. Red Bull's Alex Albon feels that his pace during the Sakhir Grand Prix wasn't bad, and he doesn't think it was a bad performance, just one of those races. He also pointed out that he was behind Sergio for most of that race, and he doesn't understand quite how it unfolded, as Perez ended up winning the race and he finished up 6th. And Williams stand-in driver during the Sakhir Grand Prix, Jack Aitken, is pretty desperate to have another go, so fingers crossed. Did Bottas underperform compared to Russell during the Sakhir Grand Prix? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.